in the US. And so acne is the most common skin issue in the United States, and it's the 8th most prevalent disease worldwide. So acne is definitely one of the big ones. And so much of our lifestyle and addressing root causes has to, is what helps us with our skin, including acne. Some of the other common skin issues that I see a lot are eczema or atopic dermatitis, rosacea, melasma, and also premature aging is certainly something that we want to be mindful of as well. I mean, wrinkles are a sign that we've been living and laughing and learning, and a sign of wisdom that we get with age. But none of us want to look, older than we are, right? We want that kind of youthful, healthy glow. And so if someone is getting wrinkles and sagging skin much earlier than their friends, it's actually a sign that something is out of balance. So these are some of the things that I oftentimes will talk about as far as skin issues.
Thank you. We had one question for Mohammed. He wants to know, what's the cause of psoriasis and what's the solution?
Well, psoriasis is an autoimmune skin condition. A lot of times people who have other autoimmune conditions may have psoriasis, or it could be the only autoimmune condition, but it is that's what psoriasis is that's what it's caused by. Is what happens is that the immune system is upregulated to the point where the body is actually attacking itself. So that's why it's autoimmune. So your immune system is attacking itself. So in the case of psoriasis, it creates these buildups of plaques and skin areas, especially like around the elbows or different areas of the body, the knees. And so it's known to be an autoimmune condition. So one of the biggest things that helps with psoriasis is balancing the immune system. And that's really important for all of us. But for people with any kind of autoimmune condition, including psoriasis, it's definitely something that we want to focus on. We don't want to activate or increase the response to the immune system. We want to balance the immune system. So finding that happy balance of that. So a lot of that can be achieved through what we eat, our environment. So looking at possibilities, if you're eating foods that you're sensitive to or allergic to, those can cause the immune system to have a flare up. So then that can cause a flare up of psoriasis. You might be similar, and this is oftentimes the case with eczema too, is an imbalance in the immune system. So these two skin conditions are what I call, are part of what I call the IMIT skin personality type. So I have, there's Amber, Olivia, Emmett, Sage, Heath. Those are my 5 different skin types, and people can go to theskinquiz.com. It's an online skin quiz where you can find out which of these you are. But the Emmett skin type, there's this underlying immune system imbalance, and that's a big part of what needs to be supported and addressed. So anything that activates it, like causes the immune system to overreact, like eating foods that you're sensitive to, or if you have an allergy to pets or environmental things and it causes your immune system to kind of reactivate and flare up, then that can make autoimmune conditions like eczema and skin conditions like eczema and psoriasis cause those to worsen. So you want to look at ways to balance your immune system. So looking at your environment, and then also there are also certain herbs and nutrients that you can take to kind of help with balancing the immune system too. Working with a functional medicine doctor or a naturopathic doctor, doing some specialty lab testing, because sometimes there's a gut health component to that too. And so addressing any gut dysbiosis and imbalances in the health of your digestive tract.
Oh, yeah, that's really interesting. Could you tell us a little bit more about maybe some of the nutrients that are like base nutrients to have a radiant skin? Like, I would like to leave with at least one tip that I could try tomorrow to get started on this journey. So, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there are so many nutrients that are important for our skin. And it, like I said, I think of skin as our magic mirror. It gives us clues about stuff going on that are root causes that are a problem with our health, include that show up on our skin. And nutritional deficiencies are one of the big root causes behind skin issues. And it always baffles me when you know, not all dermatologists are like this, but when a dermatologist doesn't say, oh, make sure you're, you know, you're eating a healthy diet, or that you're, you know, these are
Yeah.
some nutrients that you can get for your skin, because it is such an important part of our skin. So there are lots of nutrients, but
Okay.
6 of them that I would just recommend to start with. One is zinc. Zinc it helps with wound repair. It also helps with our immune system. So we
Okay.
need zinc, especially in cold and flu season, and with everything going on in the world right now, it's good to have some zinc, extra zinc in the foods that we eat, and also consider taking a zinc supplement. And so zinc is helpful for our immune system and our skin. Another one is vitamin C. Vitamin C is
Mm.
extremely helpful for wound repair as well. So if you're somebody that needs help with wound repair, like if you notice your skin doesn't repair as quickly, or maybe it doesn't repair as much as it used to, or you bruise easily, vitamin C can sometimes be one that would be a good one for you to add in. Also, vitamin C helps boost our collagen production. The collagen, we need that for the firmness and healthy consistency of our skin, especially as we get older. So
Yeah.
there are collagen supplements out there which can be helpful, but for people who are vegetarian or vegan, or even just overall nutrients, vitamin C helps support our collagen naturally. And again, it does help with that wound repair, and so we need vitamin C. Essential fatty acids are really important for the health of our skin. It is with a deficiency in essential fatty acids, it's one of the common things I see especially with people with like chronic dry, itchy skin. And
Okay.
also with keratosis pularis, which are oftentimes on the backs of the arms, and these little bumps that are raised bumps on the backs of the arms. It doesn't typically itch, but usually people are just putting more moisturizer on. But it oftentimes is a nutritional deficiencies, and it could be zinc or essential fatty acids. Those are 2 of the common ones associated with keratosis pularis. Essential fatty acids, or you can get, I mean, I really like omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil. Those are great. There are other ways to get omegas and essential fatty acids, but those are some of the ones when I think about supplements. Vitamin A is also very important
Mm.
for skin. That's one of, there's retinoids and retin A and all of those, because it's like
Right. Yeah.
for vitamin A. But taking vitamin A and having vitamin A in topical products, I
Okay.
like to use more of a natural form of it, both topically and internally. So you can get vitamin A in a lot of, or beta carotene that's in a lot of
Hmm.
like orange fruits and vegetables. You could also get vitamin A and certain oils and things. Probiotics are another supplement, I would say, a nutrient group that I think are really important for our skin. As I mentioned before, the gut is extremely important for the health of our skin. The research we've been talking, as naturopathic physician, we've been talking about this for many
Yeah.
years, the importance of the gut health. But the research is lining up with this as well. The gut skin axis, if you look at any kind of research like on PubMed or anything, there's a lot talking about the connection between the gut and our brain, and the gut and our skin, and the importance of having the right balance of the healthy microorganisms in our gut that will help then with the healthy microorganisms that live on our skin. So when you think about
Right.
skin, it's one of its biggest functions is to act as a barrier to the outside world. It's our largest organ right on the surface, and so it creates this barrier, has this barrier function. And the microorganisms that live on our skin, the bacteria, viruses, there are little mites that live on our skin. There are all these little
Okay.
organisms that live on our skin, and in the right
Yeah.
balance, our skin is healthy. But when these
Okay.
get out of balance, or we get an overgrowth of something, or even like something like yeast, we get that overgrowing,
Yeah.
it ends up with creating eruptions and breakouts and a number of skin issues. So what we want to do is get our skin microbiome back into this healthy balance. And part of that comes from the gut, and part of it is what we put on our skin, which we can talk more about in a moment. But probiotics can be, you can get them in foods. Like if you can tolerate yogurt, although dairy can be a problem for a lot of people, either digestive wise or with skin issues. But there's also like
Yeah.
coconut yogurt or other types of yogurt that
Mm.
are non-dairy. And then there are also fermented vegetables like kimchi or sauerkraut. I have recipes in my book, Clean Skin from Within, on those,
Right.
but there are lots of things that you can eat that help support the beneficial bacteria. There are also prebiotics that are known to help grow the probiotics. And so high fiber foods are one of the things
Mm.
you can do. Some people actually don't tolerate fermented foods very well.
Yeah.
So they do better with maybe just starting with eating higher amounts of fiber in their diet, and then helping support their body with their digestion. And then that can help with building up that good gut health. Sometimes it's important to work with a practitioner, a healthcare provider who can help with testing and really understanding what's going on with your gut microbiome and your skin microbiome, and dial in which supplements would be best for you. But at the Spa Doctor, we make supplements like Microbiome Builder is our probiotic
Oh,
supplement
okay.
that has really great probiotics that don't have to be refrigerated, which is a trick with probiotics. A lot of them have to
Right.
be refrigerated. And then I would say the last one of the nutrients is actually a group, and that's B vitamins. And I don't want to single out one B vitamin because there's so many great ones. So I think it's great to get a combination of all the B vitamins.
Mm.
And a lot of the ones that people talk about are things like B12 and folate.
Yeah.
And also, there are a lot of B vitamins also not only help with the skin, but they also help with the hair and nails. I know I just went and got a manicure today, and then my manicurist is like, your nails grow so fast. And I'm like, I know, it's because
Great.
I have these great nutrients and make, my skin repair quickly and my hair grow fast. And my
Yeah.
hairstylist says that too. Like, she's like, your hair grows way faster than most people. So you get these nutrients. It helps your body with your skin, your hair, your nails, and then all the other, again, these are just the external reflection of what's going on internally. These nutrients help your body in so many other ways.
That's great. Yeah, I've been taking notes on my little phone there, making sure I have my list of vitamins. And we
Yeah.
have a couple of questions, some clarifying questions. So Jane wants to know how many milligrams, maybe for vitamin C and for zinc, if you have a recommendation. And to add to her question, she wanted to know if multivitamins are enough, or are you talking about, isolating those vitamins in our intake?
Yeah, we make at the Spa Doctor, we make a skin, hair, and nail support supplement that has really all of these nutrients except for probiotics. That's the microbiome builder. It's a separate supplement. So you can get a lot of these in one. You don't have to take each one of these as a separate supplement.
Right.
And then
Right.
remember that you can get these nutrients from your food. We don't want to just go to supplements, right? I always want to remind people you want to get a lot of these nutrients from your food. And then that's why they're called supplements, because we supplement a healthy diet with them, with taking pills. So yeah, you could take a multivitamin, or you could take something like our skin, hair, and nails support, which is really a multivitamin for skin, hair, and nails. But the dosing, it kind of depends on what your goals are. I would say with zinc, somewhere 15 to 30 milligrams a day.
Okay.
And if you're taking 30 or more milligrams on an ongoing basis, you want to probably do that as part of a multivitamin, because there are other nutrients that kind of help with balancing it. And then was it vitamin C? Vitamin C is one of the great things about vitamin C. It's a water soluble vitamin. So it flushes out of your system really quickly. So it's
Oh,
hard to
okay.
get too much of it. But the way you know you've gotten too much vitamin C is you have to go to have a bowel movement. Like
Oh,
it has a little bit of a laxative effect if you get too
oh,
much.
okay.
But for most people, that's over like 10,000 milligrams. So, you can get, I would say on average, if you get somewhere between 500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams on a kind of an average basis. But if you're doing like extra immune support or something like that, then you might want to take some extra zinc or vitamin C. But that's sort of more of just a general ongoing basis.
That's great. Yeah, it's about having that balance. Thank you. So we'll do one more question, and then we will invite you to talk about your free gift for everyone who showed up today. So Maureen is asking, what's the difference between omega-3 and fish oils? Do you get the same benefits?
Yeah, so omega-3 is really typically comes from fish oil. So it usually is used synonymously. So so yeah, you're going to get the best omega-3s are going to be from fish oil. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you everyone for joining us. We're cruising to the end of our 30 minutes, but Dr. Cates has been generous enough not only with her time, but to offer everyone a free gift. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, but I invite her to tell us a little bit more about her foods to eat cheat sheet.
Yeah. So a lot of times people ask me about foods that are good for the skin or foods that are like the big trigger foods for skin. And so this is a nice cheat sheet. It's just a downloadable guide on the best and worst foods for skin. So, and I think there's no such thing as a bad food, by the way. I mean, all foods are, like it's, I don't know, food
Fried
shame
chicken.
but there are certain foods that can be triggers for creating more inflammatory skin problems. And then there are also foods that contain a lot of these nutrients we've talked about today, and that are also rich in antioxidants. I didn't really mention antioxidants because it's a huge broad term, and vitamin C is a type of antioxidants. There are a lot of these. But when we're eating certain foods, we can get these omega-3s, and we can get our antioxidants, we can get vitamin C and zinc and a lot of those great things. So that's why I wanted to share this downloadable cheat sheet with you.
Thank you so much. So we would love to hear about what exciting work you're doing right now. I know I mentioned in your bio that you're working on your second book that's coming out in September, and it also talks about hormones. So maybe as you tell us about this exciting project, you can also give us an idea of how hormones affect our skin. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So my last book was Clean Skin from Within. And that was it came out 5 years ago. I can't believe it's been 5 years, but it was 5 years ago. It came out, USA Today bestseller, Amazon #1 in a few different categories. And so I've been kind of thinking about writing another one. I love writing. And the biggest question I was getting asked after the last book was about hormones, because I talk about hormonal imbalances as being one of the big underlying root causes behind skin issues. Like I mentioned, nutritional deficiencies, gut microbiome, but also hormonal imbalances. And hormones can be so confusing. And so, especially for us women, they change throughout the month in addition to throughout our lives. So this book really dives into how hormones impact our skin and our overall radiance and health. And it also is my next book is a seasonal program. So our needs change with seasons.
Right.
So
Yeah.
all 4 seasons provide different challenges. And so I provide recommendations for skincare, food, movement, and mindset, because our needs change for each season. And that is one of the ways that we can actually reset and harmonize our hormones, is when we get, back on track with these things. And so, for example, when we think about skincare products, a lot of times people are like, how are our skincare related to hormones? But a lot of us use skincare products, right? And many of them contain a group of chemicals called endocrine disrupting chemicals or hormone disrupting chemicals. And so according to the Environmental Working Group, they did a study looking at how many products people use, and on average, we use about I think it's 11 different personal care products a day, and that exposes us to 126 different ingredients. But the problem is that the United States FDA does not regulate skincare or personal care product ingredients very well. There have only been about a dozen ingredients banned in the US, whereas in Europe, they've banned over 1,000 ingredients in personal care products. So many of these that have been banned elsewhere, but are actually still in our personal care products, are these endocrine disrupting chemicals. So what happens is, when we're exposed to these types of chemicals, they can bind to our hormone receptors and either mimic hormones or just alter the way that these hormone receptors work and the way that our hormones work in our bodies. So endocrine disrupting chemicals, hormone disrupting chemicals, exposure to them have been linked to a number of different health problems, from things like fertility issues, thyroid disease, early menopause, or early puberty onset. So many different, breast cancer, prostate cancer, a lot of different hormone related conditions have been linked to exposure to these endocrine disrupting chemicals. And then and they're in various places in our environment, and personal care products, though, are one of the places that we actually can make the choice not to be exposed to those. So of course, the Spa Doctor My Skincare line, the Spa Doctor skincare line, is free of any of these types of chemicals. It has ingredients that support the skin microbiome. So we go out of our way to make sure, of course, that our skincare is not going to create more imbalances with the hormones, because as we get older too, we typically apply more of these products to make us look more youthful, and our hormones are typically getting more out of balance. So it's not a good combination. So we really want to be mindful of eliminating or reducing the amount of these chemicals that we're exposed to. And so I talk about that in my book. I'm also working on a 10-part docu-series on women's health and hormones. And I'm in the middle of interviewing people. I'm going to be interviewing around 60 different experts, video, in person. So this will be coming out in May of next year. We need time to edit it and get it all out. But it's we're covering all different aspects of women's hormones. And so I'm really excited about that one. But there's so many different ways that hormones play a role in our skin too. We look at, I mentioned, some of the nutrients and things like that are important for our skin. But it's also important to look at, hormones and, what might be happening with that. For example, cortisol is a stress hormone. And when we get extra cortisol in our body, it tends to have a more inflammatory effect, and it can worsen inflammatory skin issues. So things like rosacea or eczema or even acne, it can actually trigger more of that because of excess cortisol. So, and then of course, there are the sex hormones that change throughout our lives, and for women throughout the month, and cycling women. And so we get these surges and changes and, breakouts, and all that can happen. And then as women get closer to menopause, there are these imbalances that happen. Progesterone starts dropping in relationship to estrogen. And then we might start to feel like we actually have a little surge in androgens and testosterone. So that can be part of the reason for the breakouts. So this balance with androgens like testosterone can cause these breakouts. So the good news is there's a lot that we can do with lifestyle, with stress management is actually a really important part of this. Avoiding these endocrine disrupting chemicals and our personal care products and other places in our food and water and that sort of thing. And then also there are things that we can do with our food, eating like hormone balancing foods, which is a big part of what I talk about in my next book.
Perfect. That's exciting because, yes, I know my breakouts are more around the time of my menstrual cycle, or as you say, if you have a big event coming up, that's the one day that biggest zit comes out. So we're looking forward to your book. Thank you so much for the tips. I have some I've already put in. I'm going to up on my nutrients tomorrow. And so thank you everyone for joining us on the Radiant Skin Summit. Thank you so much to Dr. Cates. I hope you check out her free gift and visit her website. Lots of products that we can look into to get to make sure that we're supporting the health of our skin and being mindful of some of those ingredients she mentioned. Please share the link, iamlucent.ca, with your friends and others who will benefit from this. Throughout the week, we'll be talking with more experts, and so we're looking forward to continuing on this journey of getting our clear, glowing skin for 2022. Thanks, everyone.